Hey team. My name is Margot, if you don't know me, and if you do know me, hey! There's not really a ton going on in my life at the moment, so I thought that I would tell you the story of the Dungeons & Dragons campaign that I'm currently playing. In our party, we have 2 humans who are both roundabouts 22 years old. Miri just got aged 40 years, but she's okay. She's back to being 22. Miri's very green. Love her bad. She is so sweet. She is so kind. She is so wholesome and pure-hearted. And Katrin is super cool, and she's very quiet, but she's I think always just like thinking about what the smartest next move would be. She's very smart. I love her to bits. And then we have Fling, who is the dwarf, and he likes to pick pockets, but he's also pretty good at strategy. I like him a lot. He's very funny. He makes me laugh. Originally, the party was just the 3 of them, and they were tasked in Bartu City. Bartu City is going to be up here, and then in the middle we have Crossroads City, and then Amrath Harbor on the bottom. They were tasked in Bartu City by a man named Rieger Keys, tasked with clearing out this like haunted seaside chateau. And they knew it would be very dangerous, but they decided to say screw it and go anyway because it paid really well. So they bip-bopped along, went to Crossroads City. In Crossroads City, they came across a witch, and when they defeated her, she melted away into a puddle on the ground, and the puddle on the ground formed this like crazy dark sigil symbol thing, and Katrin recognized it as a portal to the underworld or something dark and scary like that. It's like abyssal, demonic, scary thing. Not good. And they said, well, that sucks, gotta go. And they left Crossroads City and went to Amrath Harbor. On the way, they ran into me, about here in the middle, Amaranthe. Amaranthe, high elf, eldritch knight. I have spells, I have bonded weapons. I have beautiful red hair that's up in a bun right now so you can't see it. I don't have my binder with me. I have a whole binder for this stuff, mind you. I don't have my binder with me, which means I don't have my character sheets and I don't have my illustrations of what she looks like. I printed out some Disney pages and colored Merida in to be the right colors for Amaranthe. Anyways, just a fun aside. So they met me in the middle of Amrath Harbor and Crossroads City. They were getting attacked by wargs, and I saw their valiant effort at trying to save themselves. It was not going well. And I decided I'm only going to get loosely involved. I'm going to stand back here and I'm going to shoot my arrows at these guys because this is not a fair fight. There were many more wargs than there were people, characters. I guess a dwarf is not a people. More wargs than characters being attacked. So I said, screw this. I can't watch them die. That would suck. And so I saved them, and they said, hey, thank you for saving us. Do you want to join our party? We are going to this like haunted mansion to clear it, and it's really super dangerous. And I said, screw it. Yeah, I want to go. I'm bored and I want money. What more is there to do? So, now I'm trying to think of like what happened after that. Then we went back to Amrath Harbor, got some tea on the local flavor, which is The ferryman is a drunk, and he is really bad at his job, so the ferry is like really inconsistent. But the ferryman has a son named Tom, and Tom is really smart and with it, and Tom should be the ferryman, basically. So while in Amrath Harbor, we headed over to the temple because this cleric Pantera, yeah, I guess she's the head cleric. Cleric Pantera, Dimity, wanted to see us, and she told us that there was another party that Rear Keys actually sent up to the chateau, or down to the chateau. I guess that would be down south. And they never returned. And he didn't think to tell us that. So we were like sitting there going, huh, what do you mean? And realized that like this is a lot more dangerous than we really originally thought. We also found out that there was a pirate shipwreck somewhat nearby, and a village of bird people about halfway there who like could help us ideally. And what else did we find out? Dimity told us that there might have been a mummy. She heard talk that there was a mummy at the chateau. What do you mean a mummy at the chateau? Where did a mummy come from? Right. So, we were like, okay, weird. And Dimity was like, yeah, really dangerous, and I really want you to live. So here's some stuff. And she gave us holy water, water skins, flasks, water flasks, and a fireball wand that had 2 charges a day. And she also sent Tom, the ferryman's son, good at directions, good at people skills. Tom's a ranger. So she sent Tom with us on our journey. We headed out. We left Amrath Harbor. And we made it to the Aarakocra village. Those are the bird people. And when we got to the Aarakocra village, they were like, guys, something weird is going on. Something weird's happening. Fix it. And we said, okay, what's going on? So their shaman had gone down to it's like Cliffs of Dover type beat. So like moors on top and then sheer steep cliff and then beach on the bottom. They flew us down. Their shaman had been conducting a ritual? Some sort of blessing thing using all of the elements on the beach. And he had not returned. And they were like, we don't know what is going on. All we know is that there's cave and we are bird and we cannot go into cave. And we were like, okay, T, we'll go into the cave for you and find your shaman. In the cave, there were demons. Great. And a sea hag, and we defeated all of them. And collected the shaman's body with like an amulet. That's not the word I'm looking for. Token is also not the word I'm looking for. Amulet or token. That's all you're gonna get from me. The shaman and his thingy. And then we did some exploring in the caves, and while we were exploring in the caves, so let me kind of break it down for you. Visualize what I'm seeing. Visualize it. Here, be with me. So the cave, entrance of the cave is here. We come in, and then there's a bigger part here. This is where most of the fighting took place. The sea hag ran off up here, and there's a little like flange that comes off. That would be where her nest her nest is still there, but she is not. You know how it goes. And then on the other side, it branched off into two. It kind of went like that. Up here, Fling and I found just a white tiled room. And in the middle of the floor in that white tiled room was that scary symbol again. There's that scary symbol again. Weird, frightening, and also in that room, I believe there were a bunch of precious gems that Fling took. He be taking stuff, I don't know. And we were like, that's really fishy and weird, and we really don't like that. Really don't like that. So we bring the shaman back up to the Aarakocra. They're like, yeah, stay a while. Ooh, stay a while. Have fun. We stay the night. We leave the next morning. We get to the shipwreck. Okay, be with me again. I have all these, like, my DM draws the most insane, detailed, beautiful maps you will ever see in your life. So I need you to be in my head as I'm looking at the map, trying to explain it to you, because I'm not doing a good job. She is good at her job. I'm not good at explaining. So the Aarakocra village is like here, and then the Amarath Harbor is like down here, here, Aarakocra, then up here, where the timestamp is on my video right now, is the shipwreck, and then a little bit further down is actually where the chateau is. So instead of going to the chateau and then the shipwreck, we went to the shipwreck first because Tom was like, I am not touching that mansion with a 10-foot pole. With a 20 or 30 or 40 or 100-foot pole. In fact, I'm not going near it. And we're like, you're supposed to be the brave one. That doesn't bode well for us, actually. Cool. But at the shipwreck, we call up some mer people, and they do speak common. So we had a little chat with them about what we might encounter at the chateau. And they told us that there was a little boy ghost as well. The only ghost that they had seen was a little boy ghost. But the little boy ghost said that he was trapped because he was being controlled by another ghost who had been his, like, master. When he was alive, he was a slave that was owned by this man. It's like, little kid. Ugh. And, the mer people didn't know anything about the mummy or anything. They had only seen this little boy. So we were like, oh, okay, good, well, okay. But they were like, well, this ship crashed 3 months ago, and now suddenly all the pirates are dead, and there's a captain pirate ghost and a little boy pirate ghost. So something weird is going on. We cannot confirm or deny that it's a mummy, but there is something really fishy happening. So we decide to spend the night at the shipwreck, and then the next day we'll head up to the chateau. Spent the night, next day comes, we start exploring the outer buildings, and in, I believe it was the horse stable, we found the little boy Wendell, and Wendell was like, you gotta help me, guys, this is rough. He told us about Captain Parr. He told us that there was a mummy, and the mummy was going through and picking off the pirates one by one as they were alone in the chateau or just like on the grounds generally. And there was also the ghost of a little girl named Saucity who needed help with a dress or something. And we were like, got it, cool, okay, haha, great. We were tasked with clearing the chateau of anything and everything that was there, regardless of whether or not it was harmful. So that did in fact include, that did in fact include the ghost of little girl Saucity. So, we go in, there are bodies all over the place. The mummy really just was killing people left and right. And then we like looted and found on each of the pirates had like their own like luck charm type beat. Like one of them had a lucky rabbit's foot, one of them had 3 evil eye beads, one of them had a 4-leaf clover encased in glass or resin or something. And Miri was like, I'll take all of those. And I said, you can take them, but I don't think that they're going to be useful, seeing as all of these guys didn't make it and they all had them on them. But have fun. Do whatever you want. And then as we were exploring the chateau, Captain Parr made himself known, and I don't remember what... Captain Parr made himself known, and we defeated him. He frightened me. He frightened me, and I had only 10 years added to my lifespan, which is like, in the lifespan of an elf, I can live to like 700 years old, and I was only 125, so really didn't affect me very deeply. But Miri also got frightened by this ghost, and had 40 years added to her life, but thankfully we knew that Tom had some scrolls that could undo that Dimity had given him. So we knew that if we returned to Tom in the next 24 hours, she would be okay. So we defeated Captain Parr not by helping him with his like life goal and moving on, but with spells and magic. And then this lady appeared, and I don't remember like what her whole deal was. She wanted, I remember. So this lady, this is like so convoluted. This lady, this like witch lady, I don't know who she was. Her name's like Visalia or something. Visilia? Anyways, she wanted the canopic jars that the mummy's organs were in. Don't know why she wanted them, but she had like bewitched, charmed, whatever, what have you, Captain Parr to get these things, the canopic jars. So she shows up after we get rid of Captain Parr, and she's like, oh my god, you can fulfill my task of getting these jars. And we're like, we don't think so. No, we don't think so. And then she disappears, and in her wake, is that the right way to say that? Is that symbol again. And we're like, that doesn't seem right. Something seems off and weird here. But we go back out onto the grounds, we're looking around, we're trying to find Wendell, but since Captain Parr has moved on, now has Wendell as well, because he has fulfilled his life's purpose or whatever. While we're out on the grounds, we hear the mummy roaring, because forgot to say, while we were inside, we did in fact destroy the canopic jars that held the organs of the mummy, so that V-name woman, whose name is escaping me currently, could not get them. I don't know. So that V-name woman couldn't get them, so that we could weaken the mummy, so that Captain Parr's purpose was really done. There were a number of reasons why we destroyed them. So find the mummy. I didn't even get a chance in the initiative lineup to make a freaking move against this mummy, because Katrin hit it. One hit from the fireball wand, and it was dust, which is so funny and so impressive, and like, I'm so grateful to Dimity for giving us that, because it was just positively instrumental in defeating the mummy. I don't think that we could have done it otherwise. Well, also, like, we weakened it significantly by destroying the canopic jars. So there was that as well. So mummy was defeated. And then we had to deal with the little girl ghost, Saucity. And we went all throughout the chateau, in every room, to find her. We found her on, I believe, the 3rd floor, in a room that was really nicely made up. There was a plush carpet. Mind you, everything else in the chateau is like rotting and molding. Like, nobody has lived here in a very long time, like at least 100 years. Everything's rotting, molding. We find this room on the 3rd floor in pristine condition. Bed is made. And also, the rest of the chateau had been lived in by pirates, so there were, like, used bedpans and, like, nasty, or not bedpans, chamber pots, and, like, nasty, gross, yucky pirate stuff everywhere. And then suddenly there's this, like, pristine girls' room, and we see her hiding under the bed, and she says, "My dress is broken. It's in the bottom drawer. Please, please fix it. Please help me. My mom is going to kill me." And we all look at each other and we're like, broken is a really weird word to use for a dress. I don't know if we should necessarily trust this. So Fling checked for traps. There were no traps. I pulled the dress out of the drawer. I held it up. There was a rip down the front, and there were like bows that were sewn onto it. A couple of the bows had come kind of undone. So she was about to have one of those like major ghost freak out things and like frighten me again. And I was like, "Girly, stop. Hey, stop. Stop where you are. Don't freak out. I'm gonna fix this. Don't freak out. I'm gonna fix this." So I went back downstairs, running downstairs, by the way, mind you, running downstairs to find pink linen, because it's like disintegrating silk dress. I couldn't think of what else to patch it with or sew it back together with than just a linen. It's strong. I also am a sewist in real life, so that helps. And my DM is as well. So we both were like, linen will be fine, right? And I got also a thread that was in like almost exactly the same shade of pink as the gown dress. She's 5, by the way. And I came back upstairs. I fixed it. She went to give me a hug. She went to wrap her arms around me. And as she's like touching me, she disappears. She's gone. She's gone. And thus our work at the chateau was finished. And we brought Tom back. Or actually, I think Tom was with us at that juncture. Because I think we went in between Mummy fight and Saucity saving, to get Miri the scroll so that she could be aged back the 40 years that she had gained from being frightened. Sure. We spend the night in the chateau, in the empty, beautiful, peaceful, calm chateau with no ghosts and no mummies. And the next day we head back. We stop at the Aarakocra village. And they're like, "Hey, like, remember those caves that you went into a couple days ago? Yeah, like, they collapsed. Something weird happened." And we're like, "Oh, something weird happened? Okay." So we go back down, and where that white tiled room was with that weird symbol on the bottom, I assume we defeated whoever that was like controlling that with the symbol, because like, as the DM described it, it was like the room had never been there. It was like they picked it up and pulled it out, and the ground that was above it caved in. So the Aarakocra could tell something had caved in because the ground on top, on the cliffs, had caved in. And we were like, well, good. Better that way than like open for anyone and anything to get into it or maybe come out of it, you know. And that's where we left off. So I believe next time we're going to... Oh no, we left off, we returned to Amaranth Harbor, we thanked Dimity, we gave her back the fireball wand, she told us we could keep one holy water each, and yeah, I think that is actually where we left off. We slept in an inn, and then next time we're going to be going to Crossroads City, which my character has never been to before. And then from Crossroads City, we will be going back to Bartu City, which my character has also never been to before. So it'll be fun to kind of have that experience with people who have been there, because that was where they originated. I joined this game after they had already played a couple of sessions. So I'm about 4 sessions behind. Not behind, but you know, like, they've been to Crossroads City and Bartu and I never have. So it'll be fun to be with them there, because they'll tell me like, oh, this is this person, this guy is shady because blah 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 blah, or like this business is weird because blah 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 blah. You know, it'll be fun, it'll be exciting. Yeah, that's the game of Dungeons and Dragons I've been playing lately. And I been playing for maybe seven sessions in that game, and then I've done a couple of one-shots. Like at the local library they have tabletop RPG night, and my DM held a session for myself, my sister, and my brother-in-law, and a couple of her other DM that she plays with and his parents. So I've played some other games. I'm very new to this, so obviously I've never DM'd before, but I'm very, very excited to try my hand at it. I'm really excited to see like what I will be able to create in terms of like storylines and maps and characters, and I'm gonna help everyone in my party build their character because I'm a control freak. I really want to make sure that everybody has like, I just had to switch out some of my spells because they were completely useless to me. I want everyone to start with things that will be useful to the campaign immediately, because I don't want anyone to get to a point where they're like fighting a mummy and they're like, I literally can't do anything right now. Like, there is nothing I can do that will save me. I don't have magical weapons. I don't have spells that will do anything for what I need. Like, I want it to be like very focused and like easy, you know, because like as a player, when I got to that point, I was like, I'm useless. Oh my god, I'm useless. There's nothing for me to do here besides embarrass myself. And I don't want anyone to feel that way. So that's Dungeons and Dragons, baby. I I hope you all enjoyed, and sorry I don't have anything like really creative on my own to share with you, but this was fun. This was really fun. So expect more of this as I continue to get into it and world build and all of that. I just remembered I have this like massive, it's like probably this big. You can't even see that. Like pad of drawing paper. It's like for kids or whatever, but I can definitely use that to make maps and such. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Please, thank you.